I've been in a lot of pain for about 12, 13 years, and I've been to a lot of different massage therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists, and I was going on a vacation to Mexico with a couple of really good friends, and I wanted it to be an enjoyable vacation, so I knew I needed to do something for the awful back pain that I had, especially under the lower right shoulder. And so I thought there's got to be something different than the massages that I've already been taking and having. And so I looked up trigger point therapy massage, and that's something that I hadn't tried before. I've tried all the different other styles.
Yeah.
I thought maybe that's going to be something that's going to help the huge knot underneath my right scapula. So I decided quick, it was like 3 or 4 days before my trip to Mexico, I thought I'm just going to look into it right now. Easy as going on the computer, that one popped up, and I looked into it, and it looked very professional, and they had numerous massage therapists available, so I could just book it for the next day, and I was in, and that's just kind of how I happened to pop up into Jeff, and he's been my massage therapist ever since.
Tell me a little bit more about the pain that you're experiencing. Do you know what caused the knot under your shoulder?
Yeah, I mean, for most people, it's often an athletic injury or a car accident, but for me it was an emotional trauma, and I think a lot of people underestimate the impact that emotional trauma does on the body. Makes you tight and can cause knots, especially if you don't resolve that, and that's what it had been for me for many years. And so it just kind of accumulated and kind of like a snowball effect, and just kept on getting worse and worse. So yeah, that's what caused, especially for 12 years, a huge knot. Felt like a rock underneath my right scapula there. And it also felt this tightness all around my ribs. It almost felt like there were ropes tied around and someone tightened it. And so it was really, really frustrating. I'd been to many different types, and it gave a lot of temporary relief, but I thought, do I need to do this for the rest of my life? And where am I going to get the money to do this?
Tell us about how you knew kind of what treatments you wanted to go get or you were looking for.
Okay, I basically told him a lot of the different massage treatments that I had already that were just one focus usually, and I had told massage therapists many times about underneath there, and they weren't able to get that area. Even my physiotherapist said, I don't know if you're able to ever get rid of that, and so I was incredibly discouraged. They did the treatment that they could, but it was the trigger point massage therapy that I was most interested in. I said, how do you do this? How does it work? I've read a lot online that it's really saved and helped people have a lot more joy in their life because of it, and that the effectiveness of that treatment. So I told him about where most of the pain was. Let's start with that area because there was pain all over the place. And so he did, and used these very interesting techniques that I had never felt before. I think he said some of it was trigger point, some Swedish mixed in there with some petrissage, and I haven't even heard of that one, but amazing. And I hadn't seen those all combined done in a massage therapist before, and not only that, but the one that actually was effective.
Right on. And so directly after treatment and during treatment, it was a little painful.
Yeah, I think when you have a lot of pain in your back, you can't expect just to have, a nice, relaxing massage. That's not what you're there for. And so they're going to need to spend some time to do their magic on those areas, and it might hurt. But the joy that you get after that, especially after a few treatments or many, like I had to have, is incredible. And this was, this very first treatment that I had with Jeff was so spectacular because I was able to enjoy my trip in Mexico. Whereas I knew before I would have had to take painkillers, I would have had to ask for a specific type of foam and pillows and all of that just to accommodate myself and my pain. I was elated because of the pain, and on top of that I was elated and delighted to be in Mexico. So
Absolutely.
It was such a wonderful time with friends because of that, and amen.
So that's basically when you realized that this treatment had subsided a long-term issue for you?
Absolutely. He had to do a few more treatments after that to kind of get rid of most of it. And then from now on, I just see him once in a while if there's a bit of stress, because everyone's going to have stress for the rest of their lives. And some people just aren't proactive about it. But he's an excellent masseuse. Because he's helped me to have to have more joy and happiness. And when you're in chronic pain, you're grumpy, you're irritated, and to pay whatever amount to get to the point of being happy, being more focused on others rather than your pain, whatever that money is, that's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.